Okay, so welcome to the budgeting class they should have taught you in school. Honestly, why didn't they? Because if you're anything like me or like the women in our Sora community, when you don't know how money works, it feels confusing, overwhelming, and sometimes even a little scary. Like the Sunday scaries, but every day of the week. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to make a budget that actually fits your personality. So you don't have to be a math whiz or a spreadsheet nerd to get this. By the end, you're going to feel confident enough to start your budget today. You don't have to track every single purchase if that's not your style. Yep, you can have a budget without obsessing over every coffee run or Target trip and zero guilt. And we're going to tackle the number one killer of wealth. So keep watching, and I'll give you the practical and useful strategies for how to handle it. Hi, I'm Emily, your big sister in finance and the founder of Sora, where we come together to figure out life and money together side by side. Around here, we like to keep things clear, relatable, and actually useful because none of us should have to figure this out alone. So, if you're ready to learn how to finally make your money make sense, hit that like and subscribe button and let's dive in. Okay, so let's start with some real talk. I'm going to show you how to budget, but most people think they don't even need one to begin with, which is just crazy to me. So let's start with why you actually need one. Because no, really, you do. If you don't have one, I'm willing to bet you've thought of some of these things before. Why am I always so stressed out about money? Where did my paycheck even go? I work too hard to be this broke. Without a budget, it is so easy to fall behind, overspend, or slide into debt without even realizing it. It feels like running on a treadmill that never stops. But with a budget, everything changes. You spend guilt free on the things you love, you know your bills are covered, and you can actually see progress toward financial freedom. You lead with intention instead of fear. And it's not about cutting out everything. It's about having fun. It's about being in control. And trust me, that feeling is amazing. Okay, so now let's get practical. The first tool is something called a zero based budget. It might sound fancy at first, zero based budgeting, but it's actually super simple. It just means that every single dollar of your income now has a job. So nothing is left floating around, which helps you stop overspending without having to micromanage every little purchase. The goal is to take your monthly take home pay. So that's going to be the actual amount of money hitting your bank account after taxes and assign it to categories like bills, savings, debt, repayment, and fun until your balance is zero. Every dollar is accounted for and nothing sneaks away unnoticed. All right, so step one is to figure out your real take home pay. You'd be surprised how many people don't actually know their income, but once taxes, benefits, and other deductions are factored in, the number looks very different. So pull up your last pay stub, write down exactly what lands in your checking account every month, and use that as your starting point. Okay, step two is going to be tracking your current spending. Next, take a look at where your money went last month. Open your bank app, credit card statements, or budgeting app and scroll through all those transactions. Don't judge yourself. This is just data collection. Here's where the magic starts. You might notice patterns you weren't expecting. Maybe you think, whoa, I spent $200 on Uber Eats. I didn't even realize that. Wait, I didn't put anything in savings last month? Oops. Or I totally forgot about that streaming service I signed up for last year. These little discoveries are wins in disguise. They tell you exactly where your money is going and where the small changes can make a huge difference. Okay, step three, assign every dollar a job. Once you know your take home pay and your current spending, start dividing each dollar into categories. So, bills, groceries, transportation, savings, debt repayment, and fun money. The goal is to make your total allocated dollars equal your total income. So, that's the zero in the zero based budgeting. You're not leaving any dollar unassigned. So take 5 minutes right now to write down your total take home pay, every reoccurring monthly expense you can think of, one thing you spent your money on last month that surprised you. And even this small step gives you clarity and starts building control over your money. By doing this every month, you start seeing patterns, make smarter choices, and stop the money leaks before they happen. It's not about restriction, it's about giving every dollar a purpose so that your spending aligns with your goals. Okay, so let's move on to the golden ratio. Once you know what's happening with your money right now, it's time to set up your dream budget. So here's the golden ratio: 50% needs, 30% wants, and 20% future. 50% needs, that's your rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, insurance, transportation, childcare, the things you can't live without. 30% wants. So that's going to be the fun stuff: brunch, coffee runs, travel, concerts, shopping, beauty, things that make life joyful. And then 20% futures. That's debt repayoff, retirement, emergency savings, HSA, 529, brokerage. So for example, if your take home is $6,000, 3,000 is going to go to needs, 1,800 to wants, 1,200 to future. The formula isn't perfect, but it's a strong starting point. It gives you balance and intention without being too rigid. So comment down below which one of these three categories feels out of balance in your life right now. Most women in Soro say it's either too much wants or not enough future. Where do you see yourself? Okay, so if you are not a budget queen, right? Some of you love tracking every single dollar in a spreadsheet, respect. But many of you are like, nope, I'd rather do literally anything else. Good news, you don't have to. Here's the hack: automation. Once you've calculated your income, built your budget, and set your golden ratio, you can automate the whole thing. So, automatic bill pay, credit cards paid in full, rent, utilities, car payment, automatic investing, Roth IRA, 401k, brokerage, automatic savings, high yield savings account for emergency fund, 529 for college savings. And whatever's left in your checking account, that is guilt free spending money. This way, you're not relying on willpower and you've already handled the important stuff. The money that's left is free for you to enjoy, completely stress free. Okay, so now I just want to flag two of the biggest budget traps: housing and cars. Housing. All right. So when you're buying a home or apartment hunting, landlords and lenders are happily going to approve you for more than you can actually afford. But just because they say yes doesn't mean you should. A good rule of thumb is to keep housing around 25% of your monthly income. So if you take home 4,000, that's about $1,000 for rent or mortgage. Don't forget, if you own, you have property taxes, repairs, maintenance as well. That should all be factored into that monthly cost. Okay, cars are even trickier. So the best move is buy used, pay cash, and avoid loans. But if you must finance, follow the 23-8 rule. So it's going to be a 20% down, a 3-year loan, and monthly payments under 8% of your income. Again, if you make 4,000, your car payment should be no more than $320. Why? Because a car is a depreciating asset. It's worth less every single year, so you don't want to sink your financial future into one. All right, so let's talk about lifestyle inflation. This is one more sneaky trap I need to talk to you about. This is when you get a raise, a bonus, or some extra money, and instead of using it to pay off debt, build your savings, or invest for the future, you upgrade your lifestyle. You move into a bigger an apartment, get a fancier car, buy a new wardrobe, or plan a more expensive vacation. Suddenly, even though you're making more money, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes you don't even realize it. It's a super common trap because it feels good in the moment. Your raise is like a reward for all your hard work, and upgrading your lifestyle seems like the obvious next step. But the problem is, if your expense rise at the same rate or faster, then your income never actually get ahead financially. And listen, I definitely think you should not be living like a broke college student or a thrifty young adult your whole life. It's okay to upgrade your lifestyle. It just has to be done intentionally with the big goals in mind so that it doesn't sneak up on you and actually jeopardize your future more than help it. So, here's the fix that actually works. Every time you get a raise, commit to putting it towards your future category for the first year. That means more money paying off debt, building your emergency fund, or investing retirement accounts like Roth IRA or 401k. I know these may seem super boring, but they won't last forever. Yeah, you always need to be saving up for retirement, obviously, but once your emergency fund is built up, you can let it sit there. Once your debt is paid off, it's gone. Just don't take on a lot of new debt. And once you put in that first year, see how much progress you've made. If you want to treat yourself and start increasing your budget and lifestyle, then go for it. But I have a hunch once you see how much financial progress you've actually made, you'll want to continue to grow and invest it instead. Trust me, seeing your numbers go up can get kind of addictive. But over time, this habit does something magical. Your lifestyle slowly improves in a sustainable way, and your finances grow without stress. You get the joy of that raise and the confidence that your future self is winning too. All right, so let me wrap this up by saying it again. You need a budget. Not just because it's restrictive, not because you can't trust yourself, but because budgeting is the foundation of financial freedom. It gives you control, clarity, and confidence. It lets you spend joyfully, save consistently, and build the life you actually want. If you want to go deeper, check out our full money game plan series. It's like your financial foundation course, step by step. And as always, follow us on TikTok, Instagram for daily money tips. Download the Ultimate Money Guide on our website. It comes with a workbook so you can actually build your plan. And grab our free money game plan PDF cheat sheet and stick it on your fridge. And before you go, drop a comment. Are you a spreadsheet tracker or a no budget queen? I read every comment, and cheering you on is truly my favorite part about doing this. I love you. You're doing amazing, and I'll see you in the next video.